At least every terrace experiences a mini landslide here in the hills. In such an area, uh, given the fact that we live in a hilly, very hilly place, it's very likely that you'll experience a landslide than a flood. I'm assuming it's true for most hilly areas or mountainous areas around the planet. And having lived here for 2 years, there's a pattern that you tend to see in cases of landslides around the place that we stay in. And it's especially because of human factors. Human factors cause landslides in such an area. Over time, I've come to term them mini landslides because they're not entirely caused by nature, so they tend to be mini on each and every terrace that people are doing gardening or agriculture, plant agriculture especially. Planting, digging, too close to the edges of the terraces. So if you're new here, my name is Peter and this is the Outpost Homestead. Let me explain the terrace mini landslides. Now we are at our property, at the edge of our property, but right above there, the entire chunk of land broke off and fell down in our property. Sometimes it could be the soil structure, but in this case, it's mainly a human factor that played a role in the landslide. So behind me, right there, but also all over the entire terraces, you'll see clear brown patches of a terrace that broke off. And this is how it happens. So usually when people are digging, the person below the terrace digs into the hill, trying to get more soil or more space, soil that is rich in nutrients for the plant, because that soil has not been touched before. So in so doing, they end up digging into the terrace and leaving an overhang in the lower terrace. Like that. And because that happens on a daily, that causes a landslide. But also, in the same scenario, someone above the terrace is also digging too close to the edge of the terrace. Also, because when they dig, you dig from down, going uphill. In so doing, they try to dig and they accumulate so much weeds at the edge, like here, at the edge of the terrace. So when it rains, the water fills up the weeds or the soil close to the edge. And because it rains constantly here, more often than other places, the overhang gets too wet and too heavy, so it breaks off. So with the time I've been here, those have become mini landslides. They're avoidable, but it hasn't been the case. So when it rains, you'll see so many of them around the area. In some cases, you'll see crops that have been planted at the edge of the terrace breaking off and falling into the other property. So that I've realized, and it's a thing. So people that move in the nights sometimes break off with those terraces. There have been scenarios where it has happened to people breaking their backs, moving in the night, but simply because someone did not dig, someone dug past their required place. So let me give you another example of the up there. Is also a mini landslide. You will see signs before the crack happens entirely. So you first you see a crack. The cracks happen. You see the cracks? The cracks in the pathway where the slide is about to happen, right there. Then the landslide happens as well. So that's why I say it is entirely man-made. So the natural factor comes in when it rains. So look at them. They're everywhere on the hill. All over the hills, all over the terraces. This is a path just above our property, and you can see this landslide that happened because someone decided to dig so close to the edge. And before we started building, we planted some trees so we could try to check how the slides happened. They are mini. I call them mini because of the human factor, like I mentioned, but that doesn't stop them from happening. So all this behind me are slides that happen, mud slides that happen. You can see all the way here.